Merrily when we are winners. Number one, we hate to be criticized. Number two, we hate competition. But Peter, upon walking on this water, did not sink because somebody criticized him. Peter did not sink because somebody compared themselves with him and competed with him. He had no competition. 11 stayed. There was no competition. And the 11 that stayed, not one of them criticized him. So why did Peter sink? Peter sank because he was distracted. So now he's not sinking because he was criticized or competed against. He sank because he was distracted. And I'm here to tell you that distraction is the greatest theme against you positioning yourself for success. Oh God, help me, Jesus. Now it gets deeper because he's distracted by the thing he's trying to conquer. He's not distracted by the people he left. He's distracted by the thing he's conquering. Because remember now, going to Jesus was not really his greatest feat. His greatest feat was leaving 11 that was more like him than they were like Jesus. You see, most of us think it's hooray, hurrah, you got up and you went to Jesus. No, that's not the hard part. Going to Jesus is not the hard part. The hard part is leaving 11 who's more like you than they are like Jesus. Some people's greatest drawback is not coming to Jesus. It's leaving where they've been. Oh God, oh God, oh God. Some people's delay is not contingent on, I wish I could get to Jesus. Going to Jesus is easy. Leaving 11 is tough. You can't leave what you've been doing. You can't leave what you've grown accustomed to. You can't leave what has become a part of you. Your boat is rocking. You sleep every now and again. You're comfortable on your little ship, and now you see something that you don't even believe it's what it seemed to be. So I'll just go back and do whatever. The toughest part is not going to Jesus. The tough part is leaving 11. And after he has conquered the toughest part, here comes the even tougher part. Then the toughest part is that what I just left is not criticizing me. Everybody is hush. It's like everybody, I got to see this. I got to see this. And he steps out of the boat and nobody criticizes him. And nobody competes with him. I don't see Judas stepping off on the other side of the boat saying, I can do what you do. I don't see Thomas saying, well, I don't believe it's Jesus and I don't believe it can be done, but just to compete with you, Peter, I'm going to step off at the other end of the boat and show you. Peter didn't sink because he had competition. He sank because he was distracted, but it gets more intense. He was distracted not by an outside entity. He's distracted by the thing he's conquering. Because the wave he's walking on drives fear into him. He takes his eyes off of Jesus and looks at the wave he's beating, and it starts to beat him up. Oh God, I wish I could teach in here. Can I teach in here? Can I teach in here? Touch your neighbor, say, watch your distractions. But don't look at them. Don't look at them. Don't study them. Don't watch your distractions, but don't study them. Because the thing you're conquering is the thing that will distract you. I wish I had a church in here that wanted to have some church. The thing that you're conquering is the thing that carries your distraction. And now he's distracted by what he's conquering. The thing you were called to walk on is your distraction. Disciples is not your problem. Can I take that further? Walking with God for us is more intense, oh God, than Peter walking with God. Why? Because Peter was not distracted by criticism. He was not distracted by competition. We, on the other hand, have distractions in what we're conquering. And now, because of social media, we have to deal with criticism. See, we're too hooked on social media not to see the criticism. Oh, I feel like teaching it here. We are too into social media not to see the competition. You want to walk on water, but you only have a few people on your boat. When you go on social media and see some of these ships carrying disciples, man, you want to quit. Because the competition is so tough. You say, when am I going to grow? When am I going to be somebody for God? And when, I look at, can I be really real with y'all? I look at some of these champions out there, the big guys, the big names, and some of the most vociferous, Lord have mercy, comments that are made about people who are making waves. And I say to myself, do these guys read these comments about them? People come on, when a post is made, see, your post is not the problem. It's your critics. And people will get on a post about you and make comments about you that can grab your attention and distract you from doing what God called you to do. And I say to myself, now these guys must not be reading the comments people are making about them. Because I'm telling you now, if you read everything that people got to say about you, you will sink. I believe some of these guys have said, you know what, I'm going to put blinders on and I'm going to look dead straight and I'm going to keep going regardless of what people say. I'm just going to focus. Somebody holler, focus. Oh, you got to focus, child. You got to focus. Sometimes you got to take your eyes even off of your marriage and focus directly on Jesus if you're going to walk for people to see so that they might become champions also. Somebody holler, holler. Sometimes with your single self, you got to ignore the pain of being alone. You have to ignore the pain, the vociferous pain of being by yourself, and keep your eyes on the one who called you. Because if you don't focus on who called you, you're going to sink.